So Louis, could you just tell us about this historic building?
Well, as you can see, this stone plaque commemorates the fact that this house once used to be a mint, and the date it began functioning as a mint was 1834.
Yeah.
So this year, 2009, completes 175 years, and we want to make a celebration of it.
Yeah.
So
What's planned?
we have a 3-day festival in mind between the 8th and the 10th of November,
Yeah.
during which we would like to have a series of talks on various aspects to do with the house, not only the numismatic side of things, but also the architecture of this house and houses like it. Talk about what life was like in those times. We are going to have some music functions, and we would also be having a quiz related to
So it's a very
numismatics.
historic place in that sense.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the post office, and what are the other buildings you could point to?
Well, you have the Sao Tome Chapel, patron saint of this area and patron saint of builders. And interestingly, one of the first coins that was minted at the time was known as a Sao Tome.
I see.
So this place has got a lot of history in it.
Yeah. And that was this is a tobacco square also. Or?
It used to be called Larg de Stang, and apparently a lot of trading in tobacco took place around this in this square. I can't tell you too much about it, but I do know that this used to function as the trading place for tobacco. It later became the post office, and behind us is a place which apparently was a pillory for flogging, public floggings.
I see.
Yeah.
So at one stage this was one of the central points of the town also, because there was a bus stand and things like that.
Of course, yeah.
So you remember that in your
Very
younger
much,
days?
my God, yeah, I remember that very clearly. This was far before the reclamation took place and we had butter bridges coming up or anything of the sort.
So the Panjim bus stand was here at one point? In the 70s probably?
Yeah, this was the central place in many ways. The bazaar was here, the local and national bus stand was here. And
much smaller than it is now.
Much.
So what's your interest in history? You feel that this is an important part that of the past that we've forgotten, or what?
Well, I do think that we need to celebrate aspects of the past that we are a part of. Now, for example, I live in this house, and there are people, neighbors not very far from here who don't know anything about it. They were quite surprised when I mentioned that this was once a mint. They were not aware of the fact at all.
So you also have a collection of coins that were...
A very modest collection. I wouldn't call myself a hardcore serious collector.
But any Goa coins that came from here?
Probably do, but I haven't really sat down to chronicle them, and maybe now that I've begun to take a renewed interest, yes.
So where does gynecology meet up with history?
Well, for the time being, gynecology has been put on the shelf, and I am pursuing other interests such as writing, photography, and history, writing about history perhaps.
I see.
So